Once there was a young rat named Arthur. He could never make up his mind. Whenever his friends asked him if he would like to go out with them, he would only answer, "I don't know." He wouldn't say yes or no either. He would always shirk making a choice. His Aunt Helen said to him, "Now look here. No one is going to care for you if you carry on like this. You have no more mind than a blade of grass." One rainy day, the rats heard a great noise in the loft. The pine rafters are all rotten, so that the barn was rather unsafe. At last the joist gave way and fell to the ground. The walls shook, and all the rats' hair stood on end with fear and horror. "This won't do," said the captain. "I'll send out scouts to search for a new home." Within 5 hours, the 10 scouts came back and said, "We found a stone house where there is room and board for us all. There's a kindly horse named Nellie, a cow, a calf, and a garden with an elm tree." The rats crawled out of their little houses and stood on the floor in a long line. Just then, the old one saw Arthur. "Stop," he ordered coarsely. "You are coming, of course." "I'm not certain," said Arthur, undaunted. "The roof may not come down yet." "Well," the angry old rat, "we can't wait for you to join us. Right about face. March." Arthur stood and watched them hurry away. "I think I'll go tomorrow," he calmly said to himself. "But then again, I don't know. It's so nice and snug here." That night there was a big crash. In the morning some men with some boys and girls rode up and looked at the barn. One of them moved the board and saw a young rat, quite dead, half in, half out of his hole. Thus the shirker got his due. Kit. The quick little kitten thinks a pretty big fish. Dress. Many of Jeff's best friends slept in mesh tents in pleasant weather. Trap. The harrowing black cat dashes at any man and lands on the plaid carriage. Lot. The honest swan stops and acknowledges the fox dodging the bothered wasp. Strut. Mother loves butter that comes from the southern countryside. Foot. The butcher should put the pudding in the wooden nook to cook. Bath. Can't have the stock. Bath. Can't half the stock asked to transfer to the enchanted castle in France. Cloth. Lawrence often offers Ross a Florida orange and horribly strong, frothy Boston coffee. Nurse. The early bird preferred the earthy worm. Fleece. These unique machines teach people to speak and reason. Face. The raven waits until late day for the great wave to break. Palm. Father and Ma said to calm the facade in the Nevada Plaza. Thought. The small walrus caught the hawk in the salty water. Goat. The rose slowly grows in Owen's old grove. Goose. Beautiful music booms and humans move to the groove. Price. The shy writer types at night to fight the silence in my mind. Choice. The spoiled boy hoists the toy from the soil. Mouth. Mountains of flowers crowd the grounds around the house. Near. Deidre's fear seriously interferes with her ideal career. Square. Beware of scarce fairies, rare mares, and scary prairie bears. Start. The Sahara party marvels at the far star on the safari. North. Laura's warm aura reforms Thor's horse for the important war. Force. The adorable boar snores hoarsely and notoriously hoards imported pork. Cure. The tourist endures rural tours of Europe and procures gourmet bourbon. Happy. The coffee, salami, spaghetti, and macaroni are ready. Letter. Sugar covers the tiger's whiskers. Comma. Bertha's and Cinderella's saga is a drama. R. Richard, Wilbur, and Harry are running around the treacherous river. L. Linda and Allie pull belly muscles, laughing laboriously. N.G. The singing mockingbird is swinging on the ring and dings the awning. Th. The thespians gather and breed 3 authentic breaths together. H. Harry and Hilary happily harvest heaps of herbs behind the beehive. Y.O.D. The cute, dutiful blue cuckoo resumes cooing suitable tunes enthusiastically. W. Will and Drew whistle when the wind blows between the whimsical weeping willows. I.N.G. Mrs. Fanning is walking and hiking in Wyoming. S. Susie lives in her sister's house on Easy Street with her Siamese cats and Siberian husky dogs.
How do you identify your gender?
Male.
And your race and ethnicity?
White. Italian.
And how old are you right now?
52.
And what year were you born?
1970.
And where were you born?
Everett, Massachusetts.
And where have you lived and how long, if it was like a significant amount of time?
New England, lifetime. Boston.
Where exactly?
So Danvers, Massachusetts. Haverhill, Massachusetts, and Salem, New Hampshire. Most of my life was in Danvers, Massachusetts.
And is that where you were raised?
Raised in Danvers, correct.
Okay. What languages do you speak?
I speak English only.
And what's the extent of your education?
I have a Bachelor of Arts.
And what's your occupation?
Legal assistant.
And how'd you get into that field?
Fell into it after graduating college.
Okay. And what is the occupation of your parents or caregivers?
So my parents are both retired.
And what did they do?
My father was a East Boston High School teacher. My mother worked for a company in accounts payable, and she was also a hairdresser.
What are the influences on your accent?
Region. Family.
And what do you think about your own accent?
My own what?
Accent.
Oh, my own accent? I think it's pronounced. People know that I am absolutely from the Boston area when I talk with people over the phone for my job. They know where I'm calling from. They understand. I'm either from Boston. Sometimes they think I'm from New York, but Boston, they certainly know that I'm from the Northshore.
And do you think it influences how they think about you at all? Or
No, but they love it. It's like it puts their comfort level, I guess. Maybe, yeah. So yeah, it does influence because they're more comfortable when they hear it.
And what do you think about your voice?
I don't know. Just kind of meh.
Do you sound like your family?
I do. I sound like my father. I sound exactly like my father and my brother, to which my mother doesn't know who's on the phone some of the times.
Could you tell me about a life-changing moment?
That is an interesting question. I guess the life-changing moment, basically for my employment was falling into the job that I'm currently in now. I've been doing it since 1999. So that changed the trajectory of my life, and I've been able to earn a steady income and take care of myself and take care of others just by virtue of that twist of fate by falling into the job.
Do you have a decision that you made that's impacted your life?
I would say relationship wise that by going to school I stepped away from a relationship that now I think about years later, the one that got away. So the choice for me to go to school, it took me away from a path where I could have had a completely different life. I try to visit my family for Thanksgiving and try to spend the holidays more with family, but not so much a tradition, but um, but more than more for like a promise that I'm going to see them at least once a year for the holidays. But the pandemic actually crushed that for the past couple of years. But I was able to go down and visit again for this year. So where that promise has been renewed. Let's say my person or persons, family, my father, his hard work ethic. That's what I carry on with me, and also their relationship and how they've maintained their marriage for all these years is that's been an inspiration. Just basic. Don't sweat the small stuff.
Wait, what do you call your mother?
Ma. We had to get that one in there. Ma.